welcome back to my channel. It's Veronica. If you guys are new here, then don't forget to subscribe down below. I make new videos every Saturday. So since it's been getting warmer and it's springtime now, I wanted to start doing a few more spring kind of themed DIYs. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a simple and very cute flower crown. I'm seriously so happy with how this turned out, and they're super quick to make after you kind of learn how to do it. So I've already made quite a few more and I just can't wait to wear them because honestly there are not enough excuses to wear flower crowns. So enough of me rambling on, let's just jump right into the video. So for this DIY you will need fake flowers. I got mine from Hobby Lobby and they are made by Greenfields. You'll also need suede or leather cord, a few inches of elastic, scissors, and a glue gun. So I'm going to start off by taking my suede cord and I'm going to cut 3 pieces about 20 inches long. Then I'm just going to tape these down to a surface so that I can work with them better. Then I'm going to braid them together. So when you start off braiding, you want to braid very tight, and then after you get about an inch down, you want to start braiding very loose. The looser you have it, the easier it is going to be to stick your flowers into your headband. And then once you get down towards the end of the braid, you're going to want to make that tighter as well. So then once you finish, you're just going to want to kind of pinch it together with your fingers and take your glue gun and just dab a little bead of glue on the end and kind of push it all together. And this does not have to look pretty because we're going to cover this up later with elastic. The point of this is just to hold the braid together so it doesn't go falling apart on you. And to avoid getting strings of glue, you might want to just dip your fingers in some water, which just helps you work with the glue without getting it stuck to your fingers. So then, once I'm finished with my braid, I'm going to measure around my head and figure out how many inches it is around the crown of my head. So for me, it was 22 inches. And the cord was 16 inches. So that means I'm going to need about 6 more inches of elastic. So this may vary for you, so I would just measure your head and then whatever length your cord is, then make sure that your elastic makes up the rest of the headband. So now we are just going to take these 2 pieces and we're going to put them together. So to start off, I'm just going to put a bead of glue on the end of the elastic, and then I'm just going to attach the cord. So now obviously you can't leave it looking like this, so I'm going to show you guys how you can cover this up and make it stay together better. So now I'm just going to take an inch piece of elastic and I'm going to glue it to the top part of the other elastic. And you can kind of have this hang over the braid a little bit too. So now I'm just going to flip this over and then we're going to fold in both sides of the elastic to cover the braid. So I'd start by putting a bunch of glue on the one side and then do the other side too. And you can kind of stretch the elastic a little bit too to make sure that it's going to hold. So then I'm just going to do the other side, and if you have any glue squeeze out, you can just use your scissors to kind of cut that off. With this side, I don't really think it did it too much. And then that is basically how you do it. So now I'm just going to go ahead and do the other side. And you want to make sure that when you do this, your braid isn't twisted at all because you're basically connecting both ends. And you don't want to have a twist in your headband later. So you want to make sure everything's straight before you glue the other end together. So when you glue the smaller piece around the headband, you want to make sure that you pull the elastic on the sides over a little bit more so that it kind of folds around the braid and kind of doesn't look as wide. I know that doesn't make any sense, but if you guys make these, you'll kind of understand what I'm saying. So then that is it for the headband part of this. When I made this, it was a little small at first, but then it kind of stretched out. So I would recommend making this a little bit on the smaller side because you can always stretch out the elastic, and I would rather have it small than big. So now we're going to move on to the flowers. So the flowers I had didn't have a huge piece of metal in them, so I could cut them with scissors, but depending on what flowers you guys get, you might have to use a wire cutter to cut your flowers. So when you guys cut these, you want to make sure you leave a little bit of the stem still on the flower because we're going to need to use that later. So as you can see, I left a little bit extra, just enough to kind of hold on to it. And don't worry about making it too long because you can always cut it down later, and you definitely don't want to cut it too short. So once I've cut all my flowers, I'm just going to be putting them onto the headband. And I only did 5 flowers. You guys could totally do more. I just wanted this to look more like a dainty headband and not a full flower looking crown. So you can kind of line up your flowers to see where you want them to go. And then I want one flower in the center, so I'm going to fold my headband in half to find the center, and then that's where I'm going to put my first flower. So basically you just want to open up the braid and you want to stick your flower in. Then you're going to take your glue gun and you're just going to kind of try and squeeze some glue in between the braid part of this around the stem. And then you just want to pinch and squeeze the braid together so that all of the glue kind of gets in there. Then after your glue is finished drying, you're just going to take your scissors and you're going to cut off the tip of the flower. And that's really it. It's pretty simple once you kind of start doing it, and it becomes really easy. You just want to make sure that you're getting the glue inside the braid, and then you squeeze it together so that it holds the flower. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put the rest of the flowers into my headband. And I realized later on that you could probably stick all of your flowers into your headband how you wanted them, and then went ahead and glued them because they kind of sit in there pretty well when you just stick them in without gluing them. So you could line everything up and then glue them if you wanted. Another thing too, if you have big wires in your flowers, you might want to just add a drop of glue to the back of the flower so that the wire's not scratching your head. But like I said earlier, my flowers really didn't have too big of a piece of wire, so I didn't really have to worry about that. And then that's it. This is actually so simple to do once you kind of learn how to do it. This took me about 10 minutes to make, so you guys could definitely make a few of these. I ended up making a white headband with a lighter cord color. There are seriously so many possibilities with these headbands because I feel like you could do different color flowers, you could do leaves and flowers, you could just do so many different ideas. That is it for the video, guys. I hope you liked it. If you did, then don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!